It's Sunday night and this is what we're having for dinner, so I'm trying to use up stuff that's starting to go bad, like the produce. Like the meat's sealed, so that's fine, but these potatoes are super sad looking. The cabbage is starting to, I mean, cabbage lasts forever, even one cut like this, but it's pretty sad looking. And then the onion's been sitting in the fridge for a while, so I figured I'd use that up. So I'm gonna use half of this sausage. I'll put the other in a freezer bag and stick it in the freezer. I'll probably cut up the whole thing and then freeze it. I did that last time and it's really convenient. So I have the potatoes sauteing in a little bit of avocado oil. I figured since I'm gonna smoke this pretty high to burn the sausage a little, I need an oil that has a higher smoke point, so avocado oil is the go-to for that. And then I'm just seasoning it with a little bit of basic black pepper, some seasoned salt, and garlic powder. And then we'll give it a taste, and if it needs anything else at the end, I will add other stuff, but I think that's pretty good, so. I threw a splash of water in with the potatoes and covered it so that way it will steam a little bit. I'll probably only do this for like a minute or two, just that way the potatoes get cooked all the way. Okay, so super unhealthy, but I added a tiny bit of bacon grease out of this jar, and then maybe like half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of butter as well. So that's what it's looking like so far. So this is a pretty inexpensive meal because it's potatoes, onions, and cabbage. Cabbage is on sale, at least it was last time I went to the store, like 10 cents a pound. So a whole head of cabbage I think cost me 30 cents. And then the sausage was pretty cheap. The whole pack of it I think was less than $4. We only used half, but seriously, if you use a whole package of meat and a whole head of cabbage and a whole onion and potatoes, I think this whole meal could cost you probably, I don't know, like $6, $7, and it's making a ton. When the potatoes are almost done cooking, I add the sausage. So I just take a potato out, tested it. It's about 3/4 of the way done. So yeah, I just added the sausage. Like I said, the sausage is cooked. Alright, so this is not the prettiest dinner I've ever had or made, but it's pretty tasty. It is Monday night, and I was going through Pinterest the other day looking for ideas to use up my rosemary because the rosemary is getting pretty big over there, and I found this white bean soup recipe. We don't have white beans, so I'm just going to use some chickpeas instead. The kale is pretty sad looking, so we need to use that up anyway. So, and then Ken asked me to make Caprese salad, however you want to pronounce it. So it's just these cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes, some mozzarella, and then some basil. I'm actually not going to use the one that's in this cup. I'm going to go plant it because it grew roots. So I'm actually going to pull from this part of the basil plant. And so it'll be tomatoes, mozzarella, basil, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and salt and pepper. In the pot we have some onions, carrots, and celery with a little bit of salt and pepper and avocado oil. The recipe calls for a sprig of rosemary, but since my rosemary sprigs are pretty tiny, I'm using 2 of them. You could also use dried rosemary if that's all you have. So I added red pepper flakes because that's what I had. I didn't have the chili flakes like the recipe called for. And then some garlic with the chopped rosemary. I did about a tablespoon of fresh rosemary. So stir all that around for about 30 seconds until it gets fragrant, and then add the 2 cans of beans. Like I said, I did chickpeas, and it's funny because we did 1 Great Value organic brand and then 1 Aldi brand of the chickpeas, and there's actually a difference in the beans. I don't know if you could see, but the darker ones I think are the Great Value or the Aldi, and then the lighter ones are the Walmart Great Value organic brand. Just think it's kind of funny that there's a difference. They taste about the same. I think the organic ones are a little firmer though. After the soup's been boiling for a while, you're supposed to take half of it out and put it in a blender and mix it up. But we don't have a blender, so I'm just going to use my immersion blender. But if you do put it in a blender, make sure that you're not using like a magic bullet or something. You need to use something that has a way for the steam to escape, or else it's going to build up and explode everywhere. Alright, so the last step is to add a handful of parsley, which I'm doing courtesy of the Air Garden. And then it says 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'm just doing like half of this lemon because it's pretty big. And then if we need more, we could just add it since we have this other half. Alright, so here's dinner. We added a little wedge of lemon. That's what Panera does when you get their 10 vegetable soup. So we decided to do the same thing. Some toast and some of that Caprese salad. We ran out of little plates, so we're just eating out of the bowl. We're savages. It's Wednesday night. We're gonna have leftovers for dinner, but I've been kind of craving this pasta salad. I went and bought feta cheese for it the other day. So I'm gonna do like maybe half this box of pasta shells, some Italian dressing, black olives, red onion, grape tomatoes, feta cheese, and a chopped up cucumber. Slight change of plans. So instead of just having leftovers, like I was gonna have some random stuff out of the fridge, and so was Ken, we ended up taking the taco meat, heated up some refried beans, and made nachos. It is Thursday, and I am going to make egg roll in a bowl. I've heard a lot about this recipe. I've never tried it, so this will be a first time. And then it's a really popular keto meal, but we don't eat keto or any particular diet, so I'm going to cook basmati rice in the Instant Pot and serve this over it. There are a bunch of recipes out there that use different kinds of ground meat, so I'm just using Italian sausage because that's what we have. It also calls for coleslaw mix, which is normally green cabbage, purple cabbage, and carrots, but we don't have that, so I'm just going to shred up some regular cabbage, some Brussels because they're going soft, and shred up some of these baby carrots. And then, like I said, I'll use the basmati rice. It calls for green onions, but I'm just going to use chives off the Arrow Garden. And then this recipe that I'm trying does call for white vinegar, so I have that, and then some sea salt, soy sauce, sesame seed oil, sriracha, black pepper, garlic, and sesame seeds. I only shredded about 10 carrots because those were baby carrots, and I kept almost cutting my finger while shredding them, so I figured I would stop. Chopped up some Brussels sprouts, chopped up some cabbage. Since I don't have the bag that the recipe calls for, I'm just going to weigh out 10 ounces and then add that to this mix. Total Instant Pot rookie mistake. My thing wasn't coming to pressure. Couldn't figure out why. It finally gave me the burn signal. I'm like, okay, what the heck? So I opened it up, figured something was wrong with the pot because like it's a little stain down there. Just realized I forgot to put the ring in. Rice, take 2, and I did not forget the ring. I know this is called egg roll in a bowl, but we are having egg roll on a plate because real life. So I will let you guys know what we think. It looks really good, and I didn't burn the rice the second time. Imagine that. It is Friday, and I'm feeling pretty lazy tonight, and I was trying to think of a way to use up this pasta salad. I was going to make a baked pasta, but I was like, I don't want to do pasta salad plus baked pasta, way too much pasta. So then I decided to do these chicken breast patties that we had in the freezer. I'm going to cut them up like really small, like Burger King's chicken fries. And then I also had some frozen corn, so that's what's for dinner. So here's my plate. The corn, I tasted it. It tasted terrible, so we ended up tossing it. But yeah, I cut up those chicken strips. Note to self, next time let it thaw a little bit because I thought I was going to cut a finger off. Trying some of this golden mustard. Doesn't taste like KFC, but it's worth a shot. And then I just made a salad out of the Arrow Garden and put some of this Olive Garden dressing and then pasta salad. It's Saturday and we're doing a pretty simple dinner. So we're going to do a baked pasta and then a side of roasted Brussels and asparagus. And these 2 asparagus spears are actually from my garden. That's why there's only 2 of them, but I'm still pretty excited. So yeah, I will just cook the pasta and then drain it and then mix it with the mushrooms and Italian sausage and garlic sauce, top it with mozzarella, and throw it in the oven for a bit. So on this tray, we have Brussels sprouts. The big ones I quartered. I took the ends off all of them and then took the outer leaves off. And then I either quartered the big ones or halved the little ones. And then cut up the asparagus, cut up the onion, and then tossed it all in a little bacon grease. So unhealthy, but it's so good. Avocado oil, seasoned salt, and garlic powder. All of this is cooked, so we just need to pretty much warm it up and then make the cheese melt. So the Brussels and the other veggies have been going for probably about, 10-15 minutes in a 400-degree oven. So I'm going to add this to the oven, and just when it's done, probably in like 15-20 minutes, we'll pull it out. So what I did is I mixed the pasta and the sauce together with a little bit of cheese in the mushrooms. Then I topped it with some more cheese because cheese is life. And then I just decided to add some fresh parsley to the top as well. So here's my plate. We got some of the roasted veggies. I roasted them just a little too much, but oh well. Piece of bread and butter, and then the baked pasta.